Hello everyone, I am CA Rajesh, a chartered accountant working as a faculty for Masterminds in taxation and auditing. In this video, we are aiming at analyzing the question paper of this attempt, that is May 23 attempt. So first of all, let me submit something like here. The paper is, I can say, not moderate, not tougher also. Paper is a bit easier. You can't expect ICI to give a question paper which is easier than this, okay? I understand there are some 6 marks, 6 to 10 marks which are a bit tricky, but remaining all are completely manageable. So giving that as a note, let me come to the discussion of the question paper. Now in this video, we are going to analyze the question paper in such a way that what could be the probable answer and also is it covered in our masterminds material or not. So we are going to cover these aspects in this video, okay? So without any delay, let's start with the discussion now. So first of all, let's start with the true or false. Let's start with the true or false discussion, then proceed further for the, I can say the other discussion, okay? Yes. So let's start with the discussion now. So what is the first one? What is the first one we have? The first one is about 1 minute. So let's start with the true or false now, okay? Then we'll proceed to descriptive part. First one, state with the reasons whether the following statements are correct or incorrect. Answer any 7. Total 8 questions are given. He is asking for 7 questions. That is bit common only, okay? Let me tell you, in this all the true or false statements except the first question and the last question, which is a bit tricky, remaining all are completely manageable. Very much simple, straightforward questions, okay? The point number A and point number H, those are a bit tricky, but remaining all are completely manageable, okay? Let's see what is like discussion here. Let's see. First one, the audit documentation of overall audit strategy is a record of audit evidences considered necessary to properly plan the audit and to assign the various audit functions to the engagement team. First of all, you know what is the meaning of audit strategy? Audit strategy is nothing but nature of audit, scope of audit, and timing, nature, scope, timing, and direction of audit. What kind of procedure you are supposed to do? What is the timing? What is the direction you are supposed to go for? And what is the extent? All these you are going to write in the audit strategy part. But here writing what is a record of audit evidences. See, audit evidence is nothing but information gathered by auditor as a part of his audit procedures. The audit strategy will be set at the beginning stage when you are about to start the audit. Correct? No. So, but what they have done, sir, here in this statement, no, they have as it is copied the statement from ICI material, but what they have done, the documentation of overall audit strategy is a record of, instead of key decisions, they have written audit evidences. The word key decisions here was replaced by the word audit evidences. If you refer the ICI material, that is essay 300, audit strategy, planning and program chapter, you will find here key decisions. But what they have done, they have changed it to what? They have changed it to like audit evidences. Considered necessary to properly plan the audit and to, till here everything is correct only. Instead of communicating the important areas to the engagement team, what they are changing? They are changing to assigning various audit functions to the engagement team. See, assigning various audit functions to the engagement team will not happening in the strategy, will be happening in the planning and also programming. In the audit plan and audit program, you are going to assign various responsibilities to the various team members. In strategy, you will communicate the important matters. You will communicate these are the areas you are supposed to concentrate more. These are the areas where risk is more. Understood? So what is the actual line here? Entire statement. Answer is false statement. What is the answer you write? The documentation of overall audit strategy is a record of key decisions made, considered necessary to properly plan the audit and to communicate the significant areas to the engagement team. That is the actual statement you will write. You will not stop there. You will further write audit evidence is nothing but information collected by auditor as a part of audit procedures, because he is using the word audit evidence here. You will not stop there. You will write further line saying that like in planning, in audit plan, we are going to assign various audit functions to the engagement team, not in the strategy stage. Clear? So if you are writing this entire thing, now you are going to get entire 2 marks here. Okay. Next one. Communicating key audit matters in the auditor's report is a separate opinion on individual matters. See, if you say key audit matters, that is covered under SA 701, which talks about giving a auditor's opinion is different and communicating a key audit matter is different. A key audit matter is nothing but given not for giving a opinion, it's for improving the communicative value of the audit report. A key audit matter will be given for improving the communicative value of the audit report. This is the first statement you have to write. Along with that, a key audit matter is not an opinion. Boss, in the audit report, already we have a title, then comes addressee, then comes a statement of opinion. In the opinion paragraph, you have to clearly write what you are trying to tell to the user. Along with that, as a part of your entire audit, which you felt to be significant in your conduct of audit, in the conduct of audit which you felt to be significant, a significant matter in your professional judgment that you are communicating to the users, so that user is going to believe that you have worked hard. To prove that you worked, you are going to give some extra matters that can be called as key audit matters. It's not a separate opinion. Okay, so statement is true or false. What is telling? Communicating key audit matters in the audit report is a separate opinion. It's not. Opinion is different. Key audit matters different. Did you understand? So statement is false. Next one. Amortize. This is so simple. Amortization represents systematic allocation of depreciable amount of property, plant and equipment over its useful life. What is the answer actually? It's not amortization, it's a depreciation. Depreciation will charge it for property, plant and equipment. Amortization will charge it for what? Intangible assets. So what is the answer you write? Statement is false, but what you write here? Depreciation represents the systematic and allocation of a depreciable amount of a property, plant and equipment over its useful life. You will not stop there. You will write amortization represents the systematic allocation of depreciation, amortizable amount of intangible asset. You will write both. Okay. For amortization, you will write meaning, and for depreciation, you will write the entire statement. Understood? Yes. Next one. As per section 142 of the Companies Act, the remuneration to the auditor shall also include any facility provided to him. So, Companies Act, if you remember section 142, it talks about auditor's remuneration, which talks about along with audit fee payable to him, any kind of facility extended to him, and also any kind of expenditure incurred by auditor in relation to audit and which is reimbursed by the company will also be called as auditor's remuneration. Yes. The state fact these are adding here. What is telling? As per section 142 of the Companies Act, the remuneration to the auditor shall also include any facility provided to him. Absolutely true statement only. Yes. So what you will write? You will write the entire section which I told you now. Correct? Next. Appropriateness is the measure of quantity of audit evidence. If you know SA 500 and SA 220, which talks about an auditor has to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence for the proper conduct of audit, for forming a proper opinion. Correct? Sufficiency is a matter of quantity. Appropriateness is a matter of quality. For sufficiency, we have a lot of factors. For appropriateness, we have only two factors. One is relevance, one is reliability. The relevance and also reliability of the data can be called as appropriateness. It's nothing but a quality matter, not a quantity matter. So instead of quantity, what you have write here? Quality. Quality means what? It's about a value, like a relevance and reliability. That is the explanation you have to give. So statement becomes what now? False here. Okay. Next one. Analytical procedure are used in all stages of audit by an experienced auditor. So simple. In analytical procedure, when you are studying, you study like analytical procedure will be used at all three stages. What are the all three stages? Planning stage, testing stage, completion stage. Planning, testing, completion. That means at every stage you are going to use now. Yes, sir. So you write statement is true or false? True. What you will explain? You will explain audit procedure will be used at all stages like planning, testing and completion. That is the only statement. Okay. At planning stage, you can explain further. You will use it for identifying the risky areas. At testing stage, you will use it for identifying the material misstatements. And completion stage, you will use it for understanding whether your understanding about the company is proper or not. Okay? Yes. In case of cooperative societies, contribution to the education fund is a charge on the profits and not appropriation. Obviously, now this question is not given directly in the material. I mean, even in MM also, even in ICA also, it's not directly, in ICA it's directly given, but in MM it's not directly given. But what you have done now, this content is covered. How that is covered, sir? Very simple. In your material, in your cooperative society chapter, we talked about some provisions to be made. We talked about some provisions to be made. There is a question, if I am not wrong, question number 5. I am not sure about it, but basically like there is a question about like provision to be made in the like cooperative society balance sheet and P&L, where we talked about any like provision, any allocation of funds toward the education fund will not be appropriation. It's not a reserve, it's a complete provision only. When I say provision means it's a charge on the profit or it's a appropriation of the profit. See, appropriation means reserves, allocation of funds, but provision means it's a mandatory charge, I can say. Yes, this is how we covered. But in ICA material, he straight away give the statement here. Okay. Yes. So statement becomes completely true statement. Okay. Next one. If a company uses so this is important here. If a company uses an integrated enterprise resource planning system, that is ERP, it may be SAP, Oracle, etc., then it is considered less complex and easy to audit compared to using an off-the-shelf accounting software. What he has done now, he had replaced the words place, like he interchanged the places. What they have done actually, let's understand, sir. A company is there, it's purchasing from the market a already pre-packaged software. A software is already completely ready. You are purchasing it directly using in the company. There, the possibility of like the software having a mistake is less because it might have been done by an expert there. But the company itself preparing that like I can say software, a software which is purchased from market, you are making some alterations to that. Obviously, your employees might be changing something there. So risk is higher, I can say. Yes. So using a pre-packaged software, using the off-the-shelf software is less risky compared to the using a like prepared software. Now see here, if a company uses integrated enterprise resource planning system, that is SAP or Oracle, then it is considered less complex. It's not, nah, it's more complex. And easy, it's not easy, difficult to audit compared to using an off-the-shelf accounting software. Or else you can write other way also. What you can write is, if a company uses an off-the-shelf accounting software, it's easy, it's less complex compared to an integrated enterprise resource planning. You can interchange the places, that's it. Okay, so that you can understand from the audit in an automated environment chapter. In audit in an automated environment chapter, and also in the risk assessment also, we cover this content. Okay, so this is the statement, this is the true statement, false statement. That is the explanation. Okay, yes, true or false, except the first one, last one, I can say everything is manageable. And of course, anyways, you have a one choice here. That means only 2 marks are a bit tricky, but remaining all are completely manageable. Okay, yes, next one, 2A. Second question is so very so simple. All are direct questions only. Let's see. While designing an audit sample, the auditor shall determine a sample size sufficient to reduce the sampling risk to acceptably lower level. In this context, explain sampling risk and non-sampling risk. Straight away in audit sampling chapter, question number 12 and also question number 13. In your audit sampling chapter, question number 12 and question number 13, both will talk about, one is sampling risk, one is non-sampling risk. What is sampling risk? Because of an inappropriate sample, because of a wrong sample being selected, your opinion, like your understanding about the organization, the evidence you collected might not be giving you a sufficient appropriate evidence. That can be called as a sampling risk. What is non-sampling risk? Because of other than sampling reasons, maybe due to inefficient team, or maybe due to inefficient procedures, or maybe due to wrong procedure or wrong timing, you might be like going for a wrong opinion. That can be called as non-sampling risk. Okay, so sampling risk, non-sampling risk, state question, question number 12 and question number 13 from the masterminds material. Okay, yes, next one. You are appointed as an auditor of Gamma Limited. Your audit assistant wants to understand the meaning of audit risk. Assistant wants to know what is audit risk. Explain him the meaning of audit risk with examples. Also guide him as to what is not included in audit risk. Straight away, again same question from risk assessment chapter. The question number 1 itself has been taken from here. In your masterminds material, we have question number 1, which talks about something called audit risk meaning and also what is not there in the audit risk. There is a business risk. The company might remove the auditor, can be called as business risk. The auditor might lose the remuneration because of removing. It's called as business risk. It's not included. In audit risk, what is included, sir? A risk that auditor might express an inappropriate opinion where financial statements are materially misstated can be called as audit risk. It's a composition of 2 things, risk of material misstatement and also detection risk. Again, it is a further parts. Risk of material misstatement can be due to inherent risk and also control risk. Detection risk can be due to like I can say sampling risk, non-sampling risk. Clear? Yes, that is question number 1 from risk assessment chapter. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question number 2C. An auditor has to exercise professional judgment in determining materiality. Explain the factors that may affect the identification of an appropriate benchmark in determining materiality for the finance statements as a whole. In the finance statements, definitely for determining materiality, you are supposed to set some benchmark. Benchmark into percentage, you will get something called materiality amount. For developing a benchmark, you have certain factors. What are the factors, sir? Is this covered in our material? Yes. In the audit strategy, planning and program chapter, we have question number 12. Question number 12 talks about how to decide a materiality, how to select a benchmark. In that, we have point number 4 or 5, if I am not wrong, about factors to be considered in benchmarking. Example, generally your benchmark will depend on the capital structure of the organization, management style of the organization. It depends on the expectations of the users, outsiders. It depends on the applicable financial reporting framework. It depends on the law requirements. It depends on the items of balance sheet P&L, that is maybe assets, liabilities, incomes, expenditures. These points if you are writing, no, you will get all the 3 marks. Okay, question number 12 of your MM material. Okay, next one. While auditing in an automated environment, how data analytics can be used in testing electronic records and data residing in IT systems using spreadsheet and specialized audit tools. This question is from audit in an automated environment chapter. So simple question. They are asking about how auditing in an automated environment, how data analytics will be useful. an auditor, how he will use something called data analytics in his audit procedures. Very simple. There may be lot of areas. Is it covered in our material, sir? Yes, sir. Question number 6 of the MA material. Okay. What are the areas? Let's try to understand. One, sir, in sampling you can use it for doing analytical procedure, for applying some fraud investigations, or for for analyzing the journal entries, which are whether following the controls or not, for testing the controls, for checking the effectiveness of controls, for having some audit trail being extracted. For these various purposes, we can use the data analytics. Okay, for checking the completeness of the data, for checking the completeness, and also for checking the accuracy of the data. There are a lot of factors given in the question number 6. You can refer that. Okay. Yes. Next one. 3A. Let's go to 3A. So what is that, sir? CAP is the auditor of MN Limited. While scrutinizing the amounts of MN Limited, he observed that the company had a large volume of trade payables outstanding in the balance sheet as on 31st of March 23, for which external confirmation are not available. CAP wants to send external confirmation request to the selected trade payables, but management of MN Limited refused for the same. Okay. Auditor wants to obtain some evidence. Management is restricting. Okay. Discuss how CAP should deal in the regard as per relevant standard on auditing. They are asking what? How CAP has to deal with this situation? Very simple. You remember essay 210? So this question is from essay 210. In essay 210, if I am not wrong, you have in the second chapter we have question number 20. In second chapter we have question number 20, which talks about something called change in the terms and conditions. Change in terms and conditions, or management imposing some kind of restriction on the auditor for obtaining evidence. Auditor has to see whether reason is justifiable or not justifiable. Reason justifiable, go with the original terms. Go with the new terms, go for the new letter. Or reason not justifiable, ask the management, let me go for the confirmation. Management allows, well and good. If not allowing, go for possibility of withdrawal, informing the concerned parties. It may be contractual or legal. That's the discussion. Is it there, sir? It's straight away there in the question number 20 of your second chapter. Okay. Yes. Next one. Management of D Limited has issued shares at a discount to creditors. Explain the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. When shares are issued at a discount to creditors, as an auditor, what will be your concern of checking in such cases? They are asking what? Very simple. Issuing the shares at a discount. Generally, issuing a shares at a discount is not possible, not allowed. But in two exceptional circumstances, you can go for issuing the shares at discount. What are those? First of all, let me tell you, is it covered in our material? Yes, sir, these are covered. Where it is covered? In the items of finance statement chapter. Question number 4 from self-study. In self-study, question number 4 talks about this exact concept only. So what are the circumstances, sir? First one, in case of sweat equity shares, I can go for issuing a discount. Next one, in case of any creditors, any debt being converted into equity, you are converting a debt into an equity, there you can go for discounting. Only when it's approved, it's a approved plan as per the RBI's approval, or it may be as per the Banking Regulation Act. It's as per Banking Regulation Act, and it's as per the RBI's approval. If it's the approved plan, no, you can go for it. If not, you cannot go for it. As auditor, what you will check, sir? You will check for the financial year, is there any change in the share capital? Is there any movement in the share capital? If there is a movement, are the shares issued for a premium or a discount? If that's for a discount, check whether that is only these two exceptions or others. Others though not allowed, only these two are allowed. That's what you are supposed to check. It's as it is there in the question number 4 self-study of your items of finance statement chapter. Okay. Next one. X Limited is a hardware manufacturing company. At each and every stage of production process, large amount of scrap is being generated in the factory and subsequently sold. As an auditor, how will you verify the sale of scrap? Wait, straight away, how to verify the sale of scrap is asking you. Again, this question is there in your items of finance statement chapter only, question number 9. Again, self-study question. A self-study question, question number 9 of your items of finance statement chapter. So, how to verify? First of all, we'll check whether whatever the internal controls which are there for this, are they properly existing? Are they adequate? Are they working for the entire year? Next, we'll see whether proper tenders are being quoted, proper advertisement is being done, proper contract is being executed for that. Next, we'll see whether any good items are also being joined with scrap and being sold. We'll see whether the rate quoted is reasonable. We'll see whether on a random basis we'll check the sample invoices. We'll check whether that is invoice is properly recorded as per the authority of the company. See, points are very simple. Like you can write even if you did not study, no, you can write the general points also. If you remember the audit procedure concept, you can write a general answer. Understood? Yes. Next one. CAQ. The auditor of XYZ Limited while conducting the audit observes that company has made various provisions in the books of accounts. What are the audit procedures that CAQ will follow to verify the existence, completeness and valuation of provisions made? Very simply asking again. Same sir, again from the items of finance statement chapter, question number 21 from self-study. Items of finance statement chapter, question number 21, self-study. Okay. How to verify provisions? Very simple. First of all, obtain a list of obligations from the company. Check whether all the obligations are covered as a provision. Then check whether you can analyze that, you can examine that. If you could examine, well and good. If you could not examine, try to check whether any management expert opinion is there, report is there. If that is there, check first of all whether management expert can be reliable person. His competence is good, he is having a good knowledge. If you have any prior experience, use that. Or think of, is there any possibility, is there any requirement of going for an auditor's expert? If you are going for auditor's expert, check his competences. Having a previous relation, go for it. His qualification, check it. So I like that. So checking a provision, you are supposed to see whether a lot of it matters there. Example, sir, for checking a provision, you have to follow AS 29 requirements, whether that is a provision or contingent liability, whether proper demarcation is being made. So that is the question number 21, self-study. Okay. Yes. Next one, 4A. Yes, let's come to question number 4A. So question number 4A is about, let's start, sir. CAD has been appointed as an auditor. So let's start with question number 4A. CAD has been appointed as an auditor of LMP Limited. Before developing an overall audit plan, CAD wants to get an understanding and knowledge of client's business, including applicable financial reporting framework. Guide CAD in understanding of the same with reference to the relevant standard on auditing. Very simple. Understanding an entity, knowledge of client's business. What is the standard? SA 315. But this question, no, we did not give it in the risk assessment chapter. That is given in third chapter, that is audit strategy planning and program chapter. Question number 4. Question number 4 of audit strategy planning program chapter, it is talking about knowledge of client business. An auditor, before developing the audit strategy, before going for audit planning and program, he is supposed to have a clear knowledge of the company. What knowledge, sir? What is the company all about? Who are its customers? Who are its suppliers? What is the applicable law? What are the internal factors? What are the external factors? And what is the applicable financial reporting framework? Whatever the policy they have, is it being as per applicable financial reporting framework? Any new change in the law requirements? And also, what are the objectives? What are the reporting requirements of this entity? Keeping all this in mind, we are going to develop an audit strategy. Okay. So that is covered in question number 4, your SA 315 of your audit strategy planning and program chapter. Okay. Yes, next one. ABC Limited is a public company which has availed various loans and cash credit facilities from bank and other financial institutions. The company has defaulted in repayment of such borrowings during the year under audit. What are the reporting requirements in this regard under the company auditor's report order 2020? Straight away question. It's about report, how as an auditor you will report on if company is defaulting in repayment of their dues, not statutory dues. It's about dues only. Question point number 9 in the all the 21 points of CARO. In your company audit, we given CARO reporting points. In that 9th point talks about reporting on dues. Now, what you have to report, sir? Very simple. There are some 6 points to be reported. First one, sir, I can say first one, if a company is in default, amount involved, lender wise amount involved and period of delay. Lender wise amount involved and also period of delay. Along with that, is the company has been listed as a willful defaulter by any NBFC or a bank. Second point. Third point, sir, I can say did the company has taken any long-term borrowings for using for a short-term purpose. Next one, any funds taken for short-term purpose, are they being used for a long-term purpose? Next one, the company has taken any loan for meeting the requirements of a subsidiary or associate. Next one, sir, last one, what is that? Whether the company has taken any loan giving the subsidiary shares or the associate shares as a security. Okay, these are the points you are supposed to report under the CARO 2020 point. Okay, so straight away direct questions are not an indirect question, but you have to remember this question number. If you remember the points, you can write. If not, nothing can be done. Okay, next. The reliability of the data is influenced by source and nature and is dependent on circumstances under which it is obtained. Explain the factors that are relevant when determining whether data is reliable for the purpose of designing substantive analytical procedure. Now, if you are stopping at this point or this point, you will come to a conclusion that this question is from audit evidence chapter. In audit evidence chapter, we have question number 4 or 5 if I am not wrong. External confirmation is far better compared to internal evidence. Internal also reliable if the controls are working properly. Sir, I can say documentary is more better compared to visual or oral. So original copy is compared to better compared to I can say copy file. Any information acquired by auditor directly is better compared to information acquired through management or third parties. Like that we have a question. So people are ending up writing that question, but you are supposed to read the entire question. If you are reading the entire question, you will come to a conclusion where this question is about what? Substantive analytical procedure. This statement is as it is again there in the analytical procedure chapter. Question number 9. In analytical procedure chapter, we have a question number 9 which talks about now when deciding an analytical procedure, we will think about source of the data, reliability of the data, like comparability, and I can say predictability, and I can say reliability, disaggregation. These are the points which are covered in the question number 9. Analytical procedure, what are the factors to be considered? That is the question. Okay, this next one. As a part of risk assessment, the auditor shall determine whether any of the risk identified are in the auditor's judgment a significant risk. It's a bit tricky question, but let's try to understand. Mention any 3 guiding factors to judge as to which risk are significant risk. You telling, sir, as auditor, as a part of your risk assessment in your essay 315, you will try to identify a lot of risky areas. Out of all those risky areas, which is the more risky area? So what is significant, sir? Which is more material? Which is more important? So for deciding whether the risk is significant or not, what factors you will consider? What are the things you will put in your mind? They are asking some examples. In this point now, like using your common sense also you can write, sir. Using if you remember, an error is there and fraud is there. Out of these two, which is more significant? Fraud. A fraud is there which is conducted by employee, which is conducted by management, which is more significant? Management fraud. So this is a third party transaction and also related party transaction, which is more significant? A related party transaction. A transaction where controls are not working properly creates a significant transaction. Understanding? So like that, a matter becomes significant where controls are not working properly, where fraud is involving management or fraud is a point, where a related party transaction is involved, or there is a complex transaction, there is a difficult transaction being executed, or I can say there is a recent change in the law requirements. So these are the areas where the risk will be more. Understanding? Yes, sir. But are these covered in the material? Not covered directly, but indirectly it's covered in the inherent limitations point. Okay. So I can say, sir, this point number 4D. Point number 4D, this is not covered in your material, but it's a general answer you can write. Okay. Yes. It's not that much difficult, I can say. If you are having some common sense, you can write this answer. Okay. Yes. Next one. Let's come to 5A. Very simple question. Let's see. S Limited, a large textile manufacturing company, due to heavy recession in the market, was unable to collect amount of huge receivables in time and also holding large amount of stock of raw material and finished goods since last 9 months of financial year 22-23. From your primary observation of audit evidences, you feel that there is a material uncertainty about going concern. How will you deal in your report? See, question is about material uncertainty in going concern. What is the standard? SA 570 and also SA 700 reporting point. In your audit report, we have a separate heading called material uncertainty about going concern. So how we are going to deal about it? That is the question about. Even if he is not giving the case study above, still you can manage with reading only this last part. Let's see. How will you deal in your report about what will be the effect on the audit opinion if adequate disclosure of such material uncertainty is already made in the financials? There is a material uncertainty that's being clearly disclosed by the company in the financials. The company is hiding any information or clearly disclosing, sir? Clearly disclosing everything. As auditor, you will have any problem? No. That means you will go for modified opinion, unmodified opinion, and modified opinion. Okay, you will go for unmodified opinion, understood. But we have a heading called material uncertainty about going concern, in which you have to draw the attention of user. For drawing the attention of user, you are going to put a heading, sir, material uncertainty about going concern. That heading you are going to write about this matter. Your opinion will be unmodified, but you will draw the attention of user. Okay. Next one. If adequate disclosure of such material uncertainty is not made, company is disclosing the fact, not disclosing. Obviously, you will go for sir, modified opinion. That modified may be qualified, it may be adverse. See, it might not be disclaimer. Why? You have evidence here. You have evidence, it doesn't become disclaimer. It becomes what? Qualified or adverse. Along with that, will you go for again material uncertainty heading, sir? It's your wish. Generally not required. Why? Already you are stating a reason here itself. In the opinion only you are clearly writing. No need of again explaining in the next point there. Okay? If you want, you can disclose. It's your discretion, but generally it's not required. Okay? So, where it's covered, sir? Is it covered in our material? Yes, sir. In your essay, standards auditing chapter, we have a essay 570, in which we have point number 1, exactly that entire statement can be written as answer. Okay? Yes. Let me go to the next one. B. So during the course of audit of PQR Limited, the statutory auditor CAG came across payments made to various creditors aggregating to 75 lakhs and verify the same. It is found that the account manager had accounted for fake invoices of credit purchases of 25 lakhs. There was a credit purchase of 25 lakhs being recorded in the books of accounts in the name of a bogus creditor, Mr. X. Okay, a fraud. State away, I can say it's a fraud. When it's a fake invoice, state away fraud only. Yes, sir. Discuss the duties of the auditor with reference to the provisions of Companies Act. State away is asking there is a fraud. How will you deal in Companies Act? If you remember, we have section number 143. We have section number 143 subsection 12 of the Companies Act. 143.12 of the Companies Act will talk about, sir, duty to report on fraud by the auditor. If the amount is less than 1 crore, if the amount is more than 1 crore, less than 1 crore, you will inform to the company within 2 days of time. I mean, audit committee first, if not TCWG, if not management. If the amount is more than or equal to 1 crore, what will happen? After that, you will wait for 45 days. After 45 days, if you are responding, if you are getting a response within the date of response, within 15 days, you will inform the central government. If you are not receiving a response on the expiry of 45th day, within 15 days, you will inform the again central government only. What you will inform? Amount involved, parties involved, nature of fraud. Along with that, these three you will report. But along with that, board's report. The board's report should clearly talk about amount of fraud, nature of fraud, parties involved, along with that corrective action. That is the point. They are asking both about auditors and also board. Okay. So that is 143 subsection 12. Along with that, we have CARO reporting also. In CARO also, we have a point about fraud. That can also be given. Even as per CARO, you have to report material frauds. Okay. That can also be written here. Okay. Yes. So is it there in our material? Yes, sir. We have question number 17 from your Companies Act chapter. Company Audit chapter. Okay. Next. CAZ, a chartered accountant, is a senior manager of multi-state cooperative society in Mumbai. He is a chartered accountant. He is also what, sir? A senior manager in the multi-state cooperative society. He is proposed to be appointed as auditor. A company is proposing himself as auditor. Now, if you remember section 70, if I am not wrong, section 72, yes, section 72 of the company's, Multi-State Cooperative Society Act, which says an officer or employee of that same cooperative society cannot be appointed as auditor. Okay, that statement, if you remember, the answer can be written. Sir, is it covered in the material? Yes, sir. In the cooperative society chapter, if I am not wrong, question number 17. Question number 17 is the question. Yes, sir. Question number 17 will talk about disqualifications. The same we have in Companies Act, even a Cooperative Society Act also. Multi-State Cooperative Society Act, section number 72 will talk about disqualifications. You can refer that. Okay. Yes. Same like, Companies Act section 141 subsection 3 disqualifications. 141 subsection 3 disqualification. Same to same replica with small changes. Okay. Yes. Next one. Elucidate the circumstances when a modification to the auditor's opinion is required. Also state the factors for making the decision regarding which type of modified opinion. Question is a combination of two questions. First of all, what are the circumstances you will issue modified opinion? Sir, straight away, this is the question from SA 705. The first point and second point. In our MM material, audit reporting chapter, SA 705, first point, second point are the answers here. Okay, what is the point, sir? When you will go for modified opinion, when auditor is not satisfied, when he will be not satisfied, when objectives are not met. What's the objective? The auditor has to obtain a reasonable assurance whether financial statements are free from material misstatements and they are prepared as per all the material aspects in applicable financial reporting framework. If this objective is being met, no, I can say I'll go for unmodified opinion. If any of these objective not met, no, I'll go for modified opinion. Those 2 points you can write here. Next. Okay, if you are going for modified, no, in that again modified we have 3 types of options. One is a qualified, adverse, disclaimer. When you will give what? For considering that, what are the factors we have? 3 factors, sir. Very simple. Whether material misstatements existing, not existing. If existing, whether sufficient and appropriate audit evidence is obtained, not obtained. Third one, sir, whether that is pervasive, non-pervasive. These 3 points also covered in your same, sir, second point. First one will tell about modified. Second will say in modified how many types. Okay. So SA 705 audit reporting chapter, first point, second point. Next one. Management is often in the best position to perpetrate fraud. Obviously, as an auditor, you are suspecting existence of or suspicion of fraud from management. Okay. Give any 3 examples of others within the entity to whom you can direct the inquiry. What is telling, sir? Very simple discussion. So you are suspecting that management themselves are involved in a fraud. If you are suspecting that they themselves are involved in a fraud, what we can do? We can go for inquiry with some other people. We can directly go for inquiry. Why? With the management. Why? Because they themselves are involved in the fraud. So we can go for inquiry with the other parties, I can say. Yes. Who can be other? They are asking simple questions, sir. Give me examples of others within the entity. Sir, who will be others within the entity? Sir, I can say internal audit team. I can say external legal team, or I can say internal legal team. I can say TCWG. I can say even employees also. Sir, here they are talking about only management. I can say employees also. So this is the examples you can write. They are asking only about 3. We are writing here 5 points. This is obviously a common sense question, not a technical question. It's a common sense question you can write. Obviously, you can't go with the direct inquiry with the management, or you can write even audit committee also here. Even audit committee also you can go for inquiry. Okay. Yes, that is the answer. Next one, let's come to 6A question. The ATM. 1 minute. Yes, 6A. ATM Limited is a public company with paid up capital 12 crores. Company has made a turnover of 105 crores. The outstanding loans 32 crores. Whether ATM Limited is required to constitute audit committee. Straight away, question from section 177. Question number 5 of your company audit chapter. It talks about, sir, applicability of company audit committee. 177 section. Paid up share capital more than or equal to 10 crores. Aggregate turnover more than or equal to 100 crores. And total borrowings from banks, deposits, debentures, all these together more than 50 crores. If any of these 3 getting satisfied, straight away you are supposed to constitute an audit committee, wherein minimum 3 directors, 2/3 should be independent directors, chairman should be independent director, and also majority people should be in a position to read and understand the financials. This is the whole constitution. Here, paid up share capital more than 12 crores, turnover more than 105, both getting satisfied. Anyone is sufficient? No. Straight away, audit committee is required. How you will write the answer, sir? You will write provision, analysis, and conclusion. For this kind of practical questions, you will write what? Provision, analysis, and conclusion as well. Understood? Yes. So next one, let's come to the next question. SK and Company, a chartered accountants firm, has been appointed as an auditor of Metro Rail project in City A. Since the project is on a large scale, it involves a high volume of resources, financial, human, and physical resources. The appointing authority, C&AG, requires an objective examination of a financial and operational performance of the Metro Rail project. So what they are asking? Requires objective examination of financial operational performance of Metro. Explain the nature and scope of audit here. If you are properly reading the government audit chapter, in government audit, we have something called performance. See, in government audit, what are the aspects we will cover? We will cover performance, propriety, audit against sanctions, audit against rules and orders, audit against provision of funds. Remember all these points. Out of all these points, now, if you properly study the performance audit, then exactly this word will be repeated. An objective examination of financial and performance operational information. The same point will be repeated. So in this question, for verifying the performance, what you will check? We will check very simple: efficiency, economy, and also effectiveness. Sir, is it covered in our material? Yes, sir. In government audit chapter, question number 4, which talks about performance audit. Okay? Yes. Next. A Limited has availed cash credit facility against stock and book debt. So this question now, what happened? Last attempt, he gave the question, but not like this. He gave about a different how to compute a drawing power from sanction limit. How to compute a drawing power and how to check with the sanction limit. That is the question. It's a practical based question only. Here it's not about practical. He's asking straight away theory question. What is the difference between sanction limit and also drawing power? If you see the content now, till here whatever is given is completely scrap. It's about a case study kind of question. But if you see here the last part, you will get the question answer. Explain the meaning of drawing power and how it differs from sanction limit. He's asking first one, what is drawing power? Second is asking what is the difference between drawing power and sanction limit. That means you have to define even sanction limit also. Yes. What is to be ensured while computing the drawing power? As a drawing, who will compute the drawing power? Obviously, bank who is going to loan will compute the drawing power. That means a bank, while computing the drawing power, what you are supposed to consider? So this is the straight away question from mastermind material. Question number 6. We talked about, sir, sanction limit means while giving a loan, the company based on your security, after putting some margin, they are going to assign some maximum value which can be called a sanction limit. It may be for all together, term loan, cash credit, overdraft, bank guarantees all together. But drawing power means it's not applicable to all things. Only for working capital loans, drawing power will come. How to compute drawing power? Based on your working capital requirements. On how many months, at least how many months once, sir? Generally monthly once. But keeping the practical difficulty in mind, that monthly has been changed to quarterly once. So quarterly once, this kind of assessment should be done. Okay. Now, while computing, sir, what should be kept in mind, sir? First of all, you have to ensure that sanction limit, drawing power should be maximum to maximum how much sanction limit? It should be based on the working capital requirements, removing the margin. So how to set a margin depending on the regulations of the bank, depending on the policy of the bank, which is decided by the board of directors. But if any time your outstanding amount is crossing the drawing power and also crossing the sanction limit, you have to inform the appropriate authority. That is your top level management. I can say your head office. They'll take action. This is the point you are supposed to remember. Question number 6 of the bank audit chapter in masterminds material. Okay. Yes. Next one. Last question. CAB is appointed as auditor of public charitable trust. Guide him areas of attention relating to vouching and verification of expenditure of charitable institution. So this question is from audit of other various types of entities. Sir, if you remember question number 5 of your MM material, audit of various types of entities. This is the answer. So what question, sir? Very simple. Even if you are not reading also, you can write a common sense answer. You are auditing a charitable trust. They are having some expenditure. How to verify? First and foremost, check whether the expenditure spent is as per the objective of the entity or not. What is the objective? What is the amount spent? Whether the objective is being met. First point. Second point, that is as per proper sanction. Third point, from this expenditure, are the members of that institution getting any personal benefit, or it's really incurred? You will verify. Along with that, randomly we'll check the bills. Okay. So these are the points. Some points you can write here. Question number 5 of your audit of various types of entities. Okay. So my conclusion here, after analyzing the entire question paper, my understanding is very simple. Except some 2 questions, no, some 6 marks to let's say 10 marks. The remaining complete question paper is fully manageable. I can say paper is so simple, so easy paper. If you are not in a position to write this kind of question paper, I can say better you are supposed to study very hard. Your preparation is not good. Paper is so simple. You can't blame ICI for this question paper. If you are not writing properly, that's your complete blame. Okay. So take the blame and try to read for the next attempt if you did not write properly from now itself. If you are done properly also, still don't take a chance. Don't try to enjoy. Take some break of 5 to 10 days and restart your study. Because we can't expect anything from ICI. Like we can't expect all times a positive result from ICI. There may be some other chances also. So be prepared for the next attempt. Okay. So thank you very much. This is my analysis. Hope you have enjoyed the video and all the best for your next exams.